Imagine a story where destiny and choices intertwine in a surprising way. This is the saga of Jeroboam, a biblical character who became the epicenter of one of the most dramatic chapters in the history of Israel. The death of King Solomon opened the doors to an era of radical changes. And at the center of this whirlwind was Jeroboam, a man chosen to govern the newly separated northern kingdom. But wait, there's more. Destiny seemed to have reserved greatness for Jeroboam, with a divine promise of a lasting dynasty. All he needed to do was remain faithful and obedient. Simple, right? Not exactly. What happened next is a twist that no one could have predicted. Jeroboam, against all expectations, turned his back on the teachings that would have guaranteed him success and prosperity. His choice was not just a personal error, but a slip that reverberated throughout the kingdom, affecting every inhabitant of Israel. What were the consequences of this disastrous decision? How can a single choice change the fate of an entire nation? Join us on this exciting journey through the life of Jeroboam. Discover the mistakes, the successes, and the lessons that this ancient story can still teach us. But first, to not miss any details of these revelations, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and activate the notification bell. At the twilight of Solomon's era, a shadow of uncertainty extended over the land of Israel. With the death of the wise king, the kingdom found itself on the brink of an abyss, divided not just in territory, but in heart and spirit. It was in this scenario of division and turmoil that Jeroboam, son of Nebat and Zeruiah, from the tribe of Ephraim, emerged as a figure destined to shape the future of a nation. Jeroboam was not an ordinary man. From a young age, he exhibited remarkable skill and cunning, traits that did not go unnoticed by King Solomon himself. Recognizing the potential of this vigorous young man, Solomon appointed him to a task of great responsibility, overseeing the work of the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. It was a role that required not just physical strength, but also a sharp mind and exceptional leadership ability. During this period, the roots of Jeroboam's destiny began to deepen. His hard work and dedication not only strengthened the foundations of the kingdom, but also paved the way for his ascent. His reputation grew, as did the people's esteem for him. Jeroboam, however, remained oblivious to the greatness that destiny had in store for him. At the twilight of Solomon's era, a shadow of uncertainty extended over the land of Israel. With the death of the wise king, the kingdom found itself on the brink of an abyss, divided not just in territory, but in heart and spirit. It was in this scenario of division and turmoil that Jeroboam, son of Nebat and Zeruiah from the tribe of Ephraim, emerged as a figure destined to shape the future of a nation. In this period, the roots of Jeroboam's destiny began to deepen further. His hard work and dedication not only fortified the kingdom's foundations, but also paved the path for his rise. His reputation grew, along with the people's regard for him. However, Jeroboam remained unaware of the greatness that his destiny held. Solomon's death brought an unexpected twist. The once unified kingdom under Solomon's wise and just rule now found itself divided. The north, where Jeroboam had worked tirelessly, was restless and yearned for a leadership that understood its needs and aspirations. It was at this moment of need that the people's eyes turned toward Jeroboam. The young man from Ephraim, who had started his journey in humility, suddenly found himself at the epicenter of a historic transformation. The elders and leaders of the northern tribe saw in Jeroboam not just an effective leader, but a symbol of hope and renewal. They sought him out, clamoring for guidance and leadership. For Jeroboam, this was a call not just to lead, but to redefine the course of a nation. In Jeroboam's hands now lay not only the fate of his people, but the legacy of a kingdom on the brink of a new era. An era that promised to be as remarkable as it was challenging, shaped by the decisions and actions of this man who, though arisen from simplicity, was destined to leave an indelible mark on the tapestry of Israel's history. Jeroboam's life took a decisive turn when he met the prophet Ahijah of Shiloh. Ahijah, wearing a new cloak, tore it into 12 pieces and handed 10 to Jeroboam, symbolizing that God would give him control over 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel. This divine decision was a response to Solomon's deviation from God's paths. God promised Jeroboam a lasting dynasty if he remained faithful and obedient. However, the winds of history often blow in unexpected ways. After Solomon's death, his son Rehoboam ascended to the throne in Shechem. Jeroboam, who had fled to Egypt to escape Solomon's wrath, returned upon hearing of the event. The leaders of Israel, knowing of his return, summoned him, along with the community, to speak with Rehoboam. They asked the new king to alleviate the heavy taxes and forced labor imposed by Solomon. Rehoboam, after pondering for 3 days, rejected the advice of the elders to be kind and instead followed the counsel of the young, becoming more rigid than his father. Rehoboam's harsh response to the common people triggered a chain reaction, culminating in the rejection of his reign by the people of the north and the definitive division of the kingdom. Jeroboam, then chosen by the people, began to reign over the northern kingdom, composed of 10 tribes, while Rehoboam ruled Judah and Benjamin. Fearing losing the people's support to the dynasty of David, Jeroboam made a decision that would change the course of his history. He established 2 golden calves in Bethel and Dan, claiming they were the gods who liberated Israel from Egypt. This decision marked the beginning of an era of idolatry and disobedience to God. Jeroboam built idolatrous sanctuaries and appointed common men as priests, challenging the tradition that only those from the tribe of Levi could serve in that role. He even instituted a religious festival in Bethel, imitating the festival celebrated in Judah. Jeroboam's disobedience triggered God's wrath. A man of God from Judah arrived in Bethel, prophesying the ruin of his altar and the rise of a future king, Josiah, who would sacrifice the idolatrous priests. When Jeroboam attempted to arrest him, his hand paralyzed, a divine sign of his disobedience. Despite his hand being restored after his pleas, he did not repent. On a gloomy day that seemed to forebode misfortune, Jeroboam's house was enveloped in a cloud of disaster. Abijah, Jeroboam's beloved son, fell gravely ill, bringing a weight of anguish to the king's heart. The queen, Abijah's mother, consumed by despair and hope for a miracle, decided to seek Ahijah, the prophet of Shiloh, known for his visions that shape destiny. The queen's journey was marked by palpable tension. Upon arriving in the presence of the venerable Ahijah, whose eyes had lost their light but whose spiritual vision remained clear, she awaited words of healing and comfort. However, what Ahijah revealed to her was a much darker fate. The dynasty of Jeroboam will be annihilated, the prophet declared, his words echoing like thunder in the queen's heart. Because of your infidelity to God, your lineage will be swept from the face of the earth. This condemnatory message was a reflection of Jeroboam's choices, who, by straying from the divine paths, had sealed the fatal destiny of his own house. The queen returned to the palace, carrying the heavy burden of this prophecy. In the days that followed, Abijah passed away, a sad omen of what was to come. Jeroboam, who had reigned for 22 years, saw the end of his lineage when death finally claimed him. Nadab, his son and successor, briefly occupied the throne before being brutally assassinated, thus fulfilling Ahijah's prophecy. The story of Jeroboam and his dynasty became a powerful reminder for all. It was a narrative about rise and fall, a story that resonated with the importance of humility, obedience, and the pursuit of a purpose aligned with the divine. It demonstrated with unmistakable clarity how the thirst for power and disobedience to higher principles could lead not just to personal ruin, but also to the collapse of an entire legacy. In the pages of history, the tale of Jeroboam remains a constant echo, reminding us of the consequences of arrogance and the negligence of divine laws, and highlighting the eternal need to walk with humility and respect for the paths traced by forces greater than us. Thank you for watching the video. May the Lord's blessings reach you wherever you are. I want to get to know you a bit more, so leave in the comments from which city you are watching this video, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and see you in the next video.